Hi, Haley. This is Dorinda. I'm giving you feedback on your PowerPoint presentation. Um, I am impressed on your presentation itself. I believe you're the only one in the class that I've seen thus far that has used transitions from screen to screen, which is really cool. I do recommend a voiceover so that you can explain your slides. That is the best and easiest way to do that is to do a voiceover. You don't have to do a video, I don't believe, unless the assignment requires it. Video is fine. On your first slide, you have the A&M coding description. I don't see the abbreviations or the punctuation or the um, what was it? The symbols, but those are required part of this assignment, so you're going to want to make sure you add those. Um, you have the E&M coding description. It talks about a little bit about the range of codes involved, examples, 3 key components, and a final component. The time, if you're using history, exam, and medical decision making, you're not using time. It's not, time is not like the thing that solidifies all E&M codes. So just making sure that's clear. It's good that you're describing the difference between new and established. I would go so far as to, you're kind of lumping everything in quickly here. Comprehensive history, comprehensive exam, medical decision making. You need to identify what goes into making up a history. The history is the HPI, the chief complaint, the review of systems, and the past social family history. All of that is pertinent to a history, as well as the exam is different between 95 and 97 guidelines and the number of bullets and what makes a straightforward versus limited versus detailed versus comprehensive exam. The history is even affected by the difference in 95, 97, in that 97 allows for a comprehensive history if you are detailing the status of 3 chronic conditions. So those differences should be pointed out because this presentation should be about how you would handle a multi-specialty clinic, and not just the office outpatient portion, but when you have specialists, they're going to have in-hospital services. You could have pediatricians and NICU physicians that have a group in your facility that typically the NICUs are going to do most of their visits in the hospital, but occasionally they might have a follow-up with a patient outside of the hospital. Pediatricians for sure are going to have both inpatient and outpatient visits. So it's important that you are able to capture with your PowerPoint presentation as well as your E&M tool all the various services that utilize this kind of coding with the history, the exam, the medical decision making, and time that are not only office outpatient, but also those inpatient services as well. Commonly used terms, this is good, but it doesn't do the abbreviations like they were looking for. This is important, yes. The 2 of 3 or 3 of 3 components needing in order to choose a level. You have number of key components required for an E&M code. For subsequent, the first one was for initial, for the 3 out of 3, and then you have the 2 out of 3. Changes that occurred for 2021 E&M guidelines. This is a nice slide that you have added so they can specifically see how things have differed. and your references slide. Make sure that you're properly formatting your references as per the Student Resources tab in Blackboard. If you click on Student Resources on the left side of the page in Blackboard, halfway down the Q&A on the left side, it gives links for information regarding APA formatting. For in-text citations and references, you need to be aware of all of that because we're supposed to be using both in-text citations and references for all of your sources that are being used. Okay. If you have any questions, please feel free to give me a call. Any of your artwork also must have your source cited at the bottom of the picture or somewhere on the page that tells where you retrieved this photo from. So that's not your artwork unless you have a stethoscope and that's your keyboard. You use someone else's artwork, so you need to be citing the source for that artwork. If you have any questions, again, send me an email and have a great weekend.